So one of the most frequent questions I get about the small group mentoring program is, does it work in my country? Does it work in any country? And the answer is yes. It's a bit like the epidemic itself. It doesn't take account of any borders. Now, of course, circumstances have to be ripe in your country for these things to work. But apart from that, it will work. We might have different names for things. For instance, here in the United States, we talk about a foreclosure, whereas in other parts of the world, that's called a mortgagee sale or maybe a redemption sale. And here we get an appraiser to give an appraisal of the building, whereas in other parts of the English-speaking world, we get an evaluator to put on a valuation of the building. But apart from those things, it works anywhere. And what I want to instill in you is this mindset that if the opportunity arises, you are ready to pounce. For instance, let me give you one idea that comes to mind. And that is that right now, because of Corona and the lockdown and everything else, many industries are suffering very badly. The airline industry is doing very poorly at the moment. Some airlines have already gone into bankruptcy. Some rental cars have filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, and many hotels, I think, are going to go down the gurgler, so to speak. And why is that? Well, it's because normally hotels work on very thin margins, and they need high occupancy rates and consistent occupancy rates in order to make that small amount of profit. But with now many hotels being completely closed down or operating at maybe 5 or 6% of their previous occupancy, many of them aren't making enough money to survive. You see, these hotels aren't bought for $300,000, they're bought for 10, sometimes hundreds of millions of dollars, and they're usually not paid for in cash. They've got some kind of a loan arrangement. So right now with these low occupancy rates, unless they're closed of course, they're not making enough money to even pay the interest bill on the loan. So I think a lot of them are going to come up for sale. And I'm not at all suggesting that we should swoop in there and buy them at whatever price and hope that we can find residents for them or occupants. No, I'm saying, is there another use that we can convert these hotels into? That's always one of my ways of doing things, is finding out what alternative use there is for it. And when you think about it, the population in many countries is increasing, not all. Japan is a stark example, but here in the United States, we still have a surplus of births over deaths and a surplus of immigrants over immigrants. So the population is still increasing steadily. And on top of that, the proportion of elderly is going up at an even faster rate. That means the demand for accommodation to suit the elderly is going to go up exponentially in the next couple of decades. I'm talking about rest homes, assisted living, geriatric care, Alzheimer's care, you name it. So why not buy some of these hotels, hopefully at cheap prices, and then convert them to rest homes for the elderly? And what I have in mind is we take one room, which has a bathroom and a bedroom, and leave it as such, but take the adjacent room and convert the bathroom into a kitchen and the bedroom into a living room. And now you've got a pair of rooms which offer a bathroom, and a kitchen, a bedroom and a living room, perfect for the elderly. And these buildings all have large-scale kitchens in them so that food can be prepared for them. I think they would convert very well to homes for the elderly. That's the sort of thing I want to discuss. I'm not saying it's absolutely going to happen, but if it were to happen, it might now be on your radar. You might keep an eye out for hotels where before you might have, and now you've got a use in mind, because it's one thing seeing a building or a property that's cheap in the market, but it's another thing knowing what to do with it so that you can turn that potentially cheap acquisition into something that still makes you profit. Anyway, I hope that gives you some more perspective as to what it's all about. Hope to see you soon, and in the meantime, as always, successful investing.